All righty, welcome back to It's a Bichon Life. So I am doing this segment kind of on my own, and it includes one set Bichon. There she is. She's just the onlooker support mechanism. But my lovely bride bought this. I don't even know what it is exactly, other than glass cooktop cleaner. So now you know why this involves me and not her. But we cook a lot. And when I say we, that's her. She cooks a lot and I cook a little. Primarily some fried foods like oysters and those type stuff when we do them. And chili and those type things. Game day kind of stuff. So I'm going to get that out of the way. But I'm going to leave it over here to make sure I read the instructions, because we guys are notorious for not doing that, right? But I'm going to make sure I follow through. So I know the first thing is to put some of this on the cooktop. So I'm going to do that. And I'm going to kind of do it in the areas we primarily cook in. And that's these two eyes here. One, because this is a dual eye, so we can do small or big. And then this one just kind of is where things go on to stay warm, if you will. But I'm going to kind of put this on here. Not a ton of it, because I don't know how far it's going to go, but it says to use this little sponge to kind of spread it out. So that's what I'm going to do. So you are playing along with me. And I'm just going to kind of focus it in, spread it even. Hope I'm doing it right. Kind of the way Karate Kid did. On and off, right? So let's just make sure I got good coverage. And I think I do. It also comes with a little tool for kind of, it says for baked on or hard to remove. And I'm going to do it around the edge of the eyes, which is where most of that stuff happens. So I'm going to be a little more generous up in here, because that's where we do most of the cooking. Now, I got to tell you, I am kind of a doubting Thomas on this gig, because we cooked a lot of Jiffy Pop on this cooktop, and it was all done right here. So I don't know how much of this is just scratched versus baked on food, but we'll find out. And so we've got this stuff kind of on here. And I am going to use this little tool they gave. Now, guys, I was expecting a razor blade in here, but it's just a hard piece of plastic disguised as a razor blade. So I'm going to try to get some of this cooked on stuff. And just kind of going around the edges, because that's where a lot of these stains and obviously the cooked on stuff that just kind of goes around the edges is located. Now, it looks like it's working somewhat, but it says hold it at a shallow angle as not to scratch the surface. So as we go, guys, you know, scratching the surface and applying a little elbow grease, there's a fine line between the two, right? So I'm not having a lot of luck there. So we're going to be a little more generous with the stuff. And I can definitely see the stuff is going from white to brown, which means something's working, something's coming loose. And so we're just going to kind of keep putting the elbow grease to it and see how well this works. I know there's also some kind of burnt on stainage on this back one, because again, that's where we primarily just keep stuff warm. It sometimes goes from the front to the back. And it doesn't say to let this sit up or harden or anything. You know, kind of like if you're polishing your car, you know, when everything turns white, it's ready to remove, right? Well, I'm not seeing that in the instructions. So this may need a second round. Well, we just lost the Bichon, part of the broadcast. She got extremely bored with this, as Bichons tend to do. So I'm kind of changing the angle a little bit from shallow to a little sharper and seeing if we have any luck here. But my suspicion is that this is probably scratched, not stained, where along the edges, it probably is burnt on stain. So that's what we've got going on. I'm not gonna make you guys wait till I get through with the whole process, but when I get where I feel like most of the stains are off, we'll go to part 2 of this. So in between now and then, we'll be right back. All right, so real quick update. I kind of went back, added some more of the polish, and did it just on the eyes. So you can see both sets of eyes are a little cloudy now. So I'm gonna kind of let that set up a little bit, use my trusty little scraping device here, and see if this actually, clearly some of the stains are coming off. I want to try to get them all off if I can, or whatever's acceptable. So we'll keep working on this, and then we'll give you the next update. All right, we're kind of back again. So I've cleaned the entire surface at this point. And this has come, I don't see really any stains on this side over here, but they were kind of light to medium anyway. Pretty much got this back eye clean. Really most of the really burnt on stuff is up front. So after I kind of cleaned everything off, I went back, observed that. So I'm going to refocus on this. So this is kind of like round 2, just of these 2 areas where I still saw some discoloration. So far it's actually doing what it's supposed to. I just don't know, considering the condition of this one, if it's going to do enough. But we'll let you know. You'll see the results in just a few. Okay, part 3. And it has cleaned. I don't know if you can see these little outer rings, kind of the boundary of where the heat would be. But it's cleaned those up pretty well on 3 of the eyes. Some of this is just the glass is just scratched. So it's not going to clean up something that's just not there to be cleaned anymore. But it's cleaned the outside ring of the one that we by far use the most. 80–90% of the cooking is done on this eye. And then, like I mentioned earlier, heating. So it's worked pretty well. I did, after I applied that second coat and cleaned it up, I noticed I didn't catch everything on the inner ring. I was more focused on where I was on the other. So I'm going to work on that one, and then we'll do kind of a final cleanup and see how she did. Okay, here we are, final step. I'm pretty much done with everything. I've used the damp cloth to clean everything up. If I were grading it, I'd say an A, maybe even an A+ here, but probably an A. Over here, I'd go B+, and B for the burner that we use most of the time. But overall, good stuff. That is the good stuff. It did what it's supposed to do, getting a little reflection there, so hopefully you can see it. And now you see what my part in this whole thing is. Clean up a fair amount. But anyway, just please remember to like and subscribe to our channel. We'd love to have you as part of the group. And you see the Bichon fresh from a grooming, because it is a Bichon life. We'll see you guys soon. Everybody, take care.